This is magnificent. Wow. This
Hello, folks. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good day. I've got coffee. I've got a muffin. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm ready. Actually, yes. Okay. So yesterday I started making a resolution menu. This resolution kind of drop-down menu to test out my using a drop-down menu for my settings. I got pretty far, so I thought today I would just try to finish it up. Where is drop down? Here we go. So here's the individual drop down component, my custom widget that I did. It's got the drop down, and then it's got a text label too, and then just got a simple event dispatcher for now, so that I can send out when that changes out to this parent widget here that contains however many drop downs. So let's see, how far did we get yesterday? We got to the point where I've got a working resolution menu, and I've got it to the point where it's it remembers what the last resolution was set to. But if I remember correctly, the behavior is not quite. See, this is weird. Whenever I first open this menu, it does this, where it's full screen and setting this resolution to whatever value, and doesn't seem to change anything, right? It's weird. If I undo full screen, then it starts working. Hey, Majestic Mac, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, because like now it works. Now I can set the resolution 1440 by 900, 1280 by 960, and you know, it's looking good. If I set it to 1920 by 1080, it automatically kind of goes back to that full screen. But now, see, I can set it back down to 1280 by 720, and it's fine. So there's some quirks here. I'm not quite sure what they are. I don't know what's going on. And when I open and close the menu, so it's something to do with creating, I guess, because it doesn't happen every time I toggle the menu on and off. It only happens when the widget's created, which I'm only doing once. If I remember correctly, I did that in the character. I moved it to the character, right? Yeah. Oh no. So I am creating it and removing it. Well, I'm removing it from parent widget, but does that destroy it? Removes this widget removes a widget from its parent widget. This widget was added to the player's screen or the viewport. It will also be removed from those containers. So this node creates it. I wonder if it's still being destroyed or something like that. If it's not, maybe that's what's going on. Why the behavior is different the first time that I open it, but then every other time after that doesn't make a difference. So first time I open it, it does this at full screens, no matter what the resolution is set to. Very strange. And then I have to undo full screen. And it actually ignores whatever the resolution is set to. That's kind of strange. Maybe it's because I never confirm the resolution. Let's see. I'm not sure. Drop down, pre-construct. We're setting that label. And I don't have that bound to anything actually. So what am I doing here? On event construct, that's when we're getting all those resolutions. We're populating that list and setting the current resolution. But this actually doesn't set the resolution for the screen. it just sets the selected option in the menu. But setting that selected option comes down here and triggers this. Selection has changed, and then we get the selection item, right? The resolution that it is, and then we set our screen resolution to whatever that is, and then we apply resolution settings, and then we save them. So maybe it's something to do with full screen versus windowed. Because like if here, I'm gonna open this window up. Thinking about it, I think if I set this to, like if I were to manually open up the console and manually set this, set res 1920 by 1080, it sets that to a full screen. Full screen is the default, I think. Maybe not, maybe not. Let me see. Set res 1280. Let's do 720. Okay, so that's what it is. 1440 by 900. All right, so it's not full screen by default. 1440 by 900 F will be 1440 by 900, but full screen. Oof. Something is wrong with that. I don't know what you guys saw on the stream, but for some reason this happens where whenever I full screen an application while I'm streaming, the application gets really wonky and starts like flashing green colors, and I notice on my stream on OBS it doesn't seem to be picking it up anymore. I don't know what the deal is with that, but it's one of the reasons why I'd never really stream playing a game or anything like that, because I've never been able to. I used to, so I'm not sure it's different. Maybe this second monitor of mine is causing some sort of bizarre issue. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense, but that's all I can think of that was different. Let's see, 1920 by 1080 F. Let's see. I'm gonna watch OBS. Yeah, see, OBS gets weird. Looks like OBS like just does not get what's going on, because I can see on OBS I'm still good, right? But it looks like on OBS, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but according to OBS, you guys are seeing just like a small cutout version. Interesting. Like my OBS is telling me in the preview that you were just seeing like this, like a little cutout and then black everywhere around it, and then no motion. It wasn't showing what I was doing. So I don't know what's up with that. Something wrong with full screen applications and streaming with OBS, I guess. I'll have to figure out what that is, because that's very problematic. I guess that would be a case where borderless full screen comes in handy, which, if I remember correctly, there's a way to do that, like windowed full screen. How do I do that? Oh, do I have? Let's see. There's a really handy little tip I have for you guys if you don't already know. This choice in the help menu here, if you go help and then console variables, you see this little dialog box down here, console help.html is saved. So what it does is it puts this HTML file, it generates an HTML file that contains a list of all the console variables. So all the variables that you can type into this little command line here that you could pop up, like show collision, for example, and now you can see at runtime while the game's running, you can see, like, you can visualize invisible collision boundaries. So you could see it generates this list of all the variables that you can put in there, all the commands you could do for the console. And it has all of the it's got all the variables that you could set on the console. Like you can manually, like stuff for like manually setting like rendering settings and stuff like that. And it's a huge HTML file. And it's not like the prettiest thing or anything like that, but it's really useful because it's an HTML file that's just generated on your local computer, so it's offline. It's like having some offline documentation. And there's just like a ton of console variables. And I believe set res. See, here we go. Set res. Adding W to the end is windowed. F is full screen. WF is full screen, windowed full screen. So you do W and F. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. So it's handy to be able to generate that that file. So what we could do, okay, let's play this in a separate window again so we can actually see the resolution getting set. If you play in editor, if you use the play in editor or Pi, where you just play test right in the viewport, then stuff like setting the resolution, it won't really have any effect because the window is being constrained by the editor. So either way, let's do this. Okay, so set res, we'll do 1920 by 1080 WF. Aha, see, now that is the full screen. Now that's full screen, and from what I can tell on OBS, you guys can still see that. That looks normal to you, which is great.
No good.
Excellent. All right, so interesting. So I wonder what'll happen if I feed in WF to set screen resolution. Actually, it looks like you can't. It only takes in this resolution int point structure. So how would I even do that? That's well, okay, no. So I guess in that case, I would actually have to there's another node for that, set full screen mode, right? So I just need to figure out how to set this. I wonder what the difference is between get full screen mode and get preferred full screen mode, because they have the same tooltip. Returns the user setting for game window full screen mode. Returns the user setting for game window full screen mode. Not very handy. You can also get the default window mode, which is nice. But I need a way to first of all, I feel like it makes more sense to just do this, even though that involves crossing a wire. Ugh. So lame. But still. Oh, that means I don't need that. There we go. We'll do that. All right, so let's Oh, what am I doing? These two should be out here. We should set the full screen mode before applying and saving those settings. That would of course make sense. So set full screen mode. So you can do full screen, full screen, or windowed. I'm gonna set it to full screen and see what happens, see if I still get that weird buggy bug. The buggy bug, I meant to say buggy behavior. Where, I mean, it was fine for the game, but couldn't stream it. I'll have to figure out what the heck is going on with that. Yeah, it like does something to OBS. I'm still moving. Weird. Very weird. This looks accurate though. Cool. You can actually see the resolutions. Whoa, now you guys can see OBS for some reason. It's very strange. That was weird. What the heck? Oh my god, this is bizarre. Seems like it definitely seems like some sort of weird dual monitors problem. That is so weird. Take it out of full screen, please. Man. Figuring that out is going to be interesting. Whoa. Unreal just got knocked over to my other monitor. That is so weird. Alright. Let's do windowed full screen. Let's try that out. Cool. Windowed full screen looks, of course, much nicer. Wait, but windowed full screen is not actually changing any of these resolutions, it would seem. That's weird. I don't like that. Okay, so it's windowed full screen that's not working for some reason. Maybe it's me, I'm misunderstanding how windowed full screen works. Maybe windowed full screen cannot be a resolution that's not your, other than your desktop resolution. Maybe that's a thing. Because that's weird. That's what appears to be the case. No matter what the resolution is set to, if it's windowed full screen, it looks like 1080p. It looks like my monitor's resolution. My monitor's max resolution, I should say. Very strange. All right. Let's take a look at just good old windowed mode. Wondering what will happen when I run the game at my native resolution, but in windowed mode. Okay, seems to work. But Oh yeah, I can even see the edge of the window on the other monitor here. Weird. Let's see. Can I grab it? I don't think so. Oh, I can. Look at that. Weird. Weird sizing going on there. Huh. See, that's what I was hoping. If I could just do that, like full screen, the equivalent of just maxing it like so. That would be cool. Keeping the, you know, like basically not full screen, but a maximized window essentially. I wonder if there's any way to set that. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So, all right. In that case, I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'll stick with windowed full screen for now. But that's interesting. So windowed mode, oh yeah, windowed full screen is actually weird. That's right. I think I will just leave it as windowed. That's weird. I gotta look up what's going on with the windowed full screen thing because it seems like there's some sort of behavior going on there, because whenever I set it to windowed full screen, it just ignores whatever the resolution is that I set and sets it to 1080p, 1920 by 1080, my desktop resolution, and I don't know why. So I'll have to do some research on that. Hum. I'm not sure. Couldn't really find any leads just by quickly searching the web, but set screen resolution. Get screen resolution. I wonder if I get something else. Get resolution. Get last confirmed screen resolution. I wonder what happens if I do that. I'm just curious. Oh, right, hold on. Yes, let's not. Oh wait, I want to do. Actually, I am curious to know. what happens if I just don't do that, because before I started messing with setting the full screen mode, it was still doing that. It was doing that weird behavior where it seemed to just set to 1080p windowed full screen whenever I opened that menu for the first time. Like that. Interesting. And it doesn't work until I toggle full screen, which is the F11 key. Interesting. Hey, Square Pig, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hey, Square Peg, you work with UE4. Do you know anything about? Have you done much stuff with resolution? I'm wondering.
Not much at all.
Hey, every little bit helps. Yeah, you get it. That's my first pun of the stream today. Thank you, Gaming Twist. Every little bit helps. Cheering with bits. Love it. Okay. Well, either way, Squarepeg, maybe do you have any idea why setting my resolution to windowed full screen would always set it to the same resolution? Because whenever I set full screen mode to windowed full screen, it always sets the game to 1080p, my desktop's native resolution, and just ignores whatever resolution I'm trying to set it to. So here, so I have it on windowed full screen. Check this out. You do not know. Oh boy. No worries. I just thought I would ask. I was curious, because this is kind of a weird thing that I don't know about. I'm thinking maybe it's, you know, just my limited knowledge about windowed full screen. Maybe there's some sort of special behavior I don't realize is going on. I may just be ignorant here. But if you notice, whenever I set it to windowed full screen, see now if I set it to say 1280 by 720, this is clearly still 1280. This is still clearly still 1920 by 1080. You know, it doesn't change. If I set it to 1024 by 768, you know, still looks the same. Weird little thing, weird behavior. Not sure what's going on. And see, no matter what resolution I set it to, it's always 1080p. Not sure if that's Unreal specific or if it's like I said, something about the behavior of windowed full screen that I don't know about, because I've never worked with it as a developer. But I sure appreciate it as a gamer, so definitely gonna be enabling this setting in our game, because I always appreciate it. There's one game that I play, Guild Wars 2. It's an MMORPG. It's when you set the resolution to windowed full screen, it's like way easier to alt tab. Like, it's super easy to just have the game window up and then alt tab to a web browser on the second display, and it just doesn't interrupt the gameplay at all, and you can just drag the mouse cursor back and forth, and it's totally seamless. So I always appreciated that about windowed full screen. Can we see some gameplay later? Yeah, I mean, I'm just working on I'm in my little demo level here, so I can. Gaming Twist, have you seen the game before? Do you know what this game's about? If not, just let me know. I'll give you a quick little look at how the mechanics work here in my little sandbox level, and just give you the pitch, so to speak. No. So, I'm making a game. Me and my girlfriend are both working on this together, just the two of us. It's called Ionia. Well, I guess you probably know that because you saw the stream title. But this is just a sandbox level with prototype visuals. This is where I test the game mechanics. But I can show you the core mechanic of the game is that there are two universes. There's, you know, your original universe, there's an alternate universe. Most stuff is the same in both universes, but some stuff only exists in one universe or the other. And you have the ability to jump back and forth between those universes anytime you want. You could do it at will. And you have to use that ability to solve puzzles and kind of navigate around the world and do some platforming. So here is kind of a really simple example. You can see that there's 4 platforms here, but you can see that the 2 of them are like transparent. You can see that they're there, but if I jump over to this one over here, right, I can land on that platform. But you can see this one that looks kind of like transparent. If I jump here, I go through it. I can't interact with it because it's in the other universe. But if I switch to the alternate universe, like so, now it's the other way around. Now this platform is here, and I can interact with it. And the other ones, now I can't interact with those because they're back in the original universe. And I can just toggle back and forth whenever I want, like so. And so all the puzzles in the game and the level design is built around that mechanic, and then kind of building other ideas on top of that mechanic. So one other mechanic that I've been building on top of that and experimenting with lately is this one. This concept of kind of like I don't know what to call it yet, but it's this concept of kind of imagining that there is. So you can see that this bridge here, it kind of phases in and out like the other objects do, right? But the difference is, and see these things do over here too. So you kind of get that hint, like, oh, these are special objects somehow, because I can see they're, you know, phasing in and out. These things are affected. These are some of the things that are only in one universe or the other. And you notice there's a sphere, and you go, I get a little highlight. I can pick the sphere up. I can bring it around with me. I can carry it. And what's unique about this sphere that I have in my hand is that when I'm holding it, it follows me. So while it's here on its little station here, it's stuck in the original universe. So if I go to the alternate universe, it's not there. If I come back, there it is. But if I pick it up off that pedestal and I switch to the alternate universe, you'll notice that I still have it in my hand. It's still here. And now there's this other pedestal in the alternate universe. I can put it there, and something special will happen. You'll notice that this bridge over here, it's not just like transparent, it's gone. So the idea here is that, here I'll show you from this kind of camera angle. It's kind of hard, but you see that the bridge isn't there. When I place this on this pedestal, that bridge appears. So I'm kind of playing with this idea that there are these little stations, these little pedestals that power these bridges or similar objects, power these pathways, and it's powered by this special sphere. And when I remove it, the power, it loses power, and it can't make that path anymore, so the path goes away. And so the idea here for a puzzle is that I can take this with me to the alternate universe and place it on this other pedestal, and it activates a different pathway. And now I can make it across this gap to this new area, like so. So that's kind of a newer mechanic idea that I've been playing with for the past, I guess a couple months ago that I started prototyping this. Let me go put this back over here in the original spot. So yeah, that's a little rundown of how the mechanics work and what the game is like. This is just me playing with some randomized animation, some randomized hovering. Hey, 3 more bits. Thanks a lot, Gaming Twist. Thanks. I love that little voiceover that plays, that reads the text messages. It's great. Yeah, it's no problem. I love showing every opportunity I get to kind of talk about the game itself and show off the mechanics. It's great because it just gives me more experience more practice in pitching the game and talking about it, which is helpful for when I go to, say, like a trade show or a conference or something like that, and people ask me about the game and we're marketing it. You know, the more practice you get talking about the game, the easier it is going to be to explain how it works to like a total stranger in 30 seconds or less. You know, give them the elevator pitch, so to speak. So I always appreciate having an opportunity to talk about the game and explain how it works. But today, I am kind of focusing on working on the UI. Is that you, Gaming Twist? It is! Thanks for the follow, Gaming Twist. Gaming Twist 1, that is. I can't forget the number. I'm going to be AFK from now, so enjoy your review. Oh, no problem. I'll see you around. Feel free to stop by whenever you're free. I usually stream about this time, 2 to 3 p.m., around 2 or 3 p.m. In the afternoon, Pacific time. Usually Sunday through Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday. And when I'm available, I also stream on the weekends too. Usually the same time, but occasionally I'll stream. Occasionally, once in a while, I'll do like a late night evening stream, so keep an eye out for that too. And if you want to find out what I'm gonna be, if I'm gonna be late or changing, or not streaming a certain day or changing my time, give me a follow on Twitter. That's usually where I post those updates. I put a link in chat for you, so whenever you want. Hey, welcome back, Square Peg. I didn't even realize you left. Where did you go? How could you leave me all alone? At least I have my coffee, my muffin, and Gaming Twist. So I wasn't really alone. I wasn't totally alone. Anyways. I guess I'll have to do more research on this windowed full screen behavior, because that's a little funky, and I don't really have any leads here as to what's going on there. I'm not really sure what's going on. No clues that I've noticed. So, I will probably just leave that alone for now. Maybe I'll just set this to windowed, make sure it's always windowed. Or, maybe this would be a good opportunity to just code up another drop-down that just sets the full screen mode, and then it will always obey that setting. Let's do that really quick. I'll bet I can do that pretty quick. So, I'm not going to duplicate this because I've learned that there's some weird behavior when you duplicate one of these instead of bringing in a new one. So I'm going to go grab a new drop-down, drag that in. We're going to call this drop-down full screen mode. I don't really like that terminology, but that's what the engine, that's what they're calling it in the engine, so. I think in my notes for the menu, I kind of took an inventory of all the items that are, all the settings that are going to be available in the settings menu for our game. Yeah, see, I called it window mode. That seems more intuitive to me, window mode. The window is going to be, well, I don't know, maybe that's a little weird, because window mode, windowed, does seem a little strange, but no, yeah, I'm gonna set it to that, because that's, I think that makes more sense to me. I like it. Setting the window mode. So let's write window mode there for the setting. And then let's come over here. And we've got an event here on selection changed. And for this one, we're going to get game user settings. And we're going to do set full screen mode. And we are just not going to do that. Hopefully this will work out correctly, where whatever the full screen mode is set to with this control will just kind of be respected by My resolution picker? I hope so. I guess we'll see. So let's see, how would I set this? I wonder. Because this needs an enumerator. This is an enumerator, but not the same kind. What does this give out? I forgot. Let's check it out. Ah, yeah, that's the kind of input. Key press, navigation, mouse click, or direct. The kind of selection that was made with that drop-down menu. So maybe this is where I start making my own enums. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. Getting the selected item here. Let's just play with this for a bit. I guess I could switch on this on string. Ah, but how does this work though? Select an output that matches the input value. Well, how does it, how do I know which one will be used in this case? That's kind of weird. I don't get this. So default. So you plug it in there, right? Is it because I'm not setting it dynamically? What is, I wonder, how does this work? Like, how would it know which one of these to go to? Select an output that matches the input value. But these are all just called case 0, case 1. So how do I know which one matches what? That's kind of weird. I don't quite understand that. I mean, this kind of reminds me of a switch statement in JavaScript. We have switches and cases. And then there's also breaks and, but you define the case. I don't know. Okay, maybe that's the wrong approach. I could do, that doesn't seem right. How would I do this? Let's see. I'm not going about that the right way. Whew, how would I do this? I just need to tell it which one to select. I thought I could do it with a select node, but there's no way to convert that string, it would seem. And that's what I want to do. It's probably something obvious that I'm missing, surely. Let's see. Well. I feel like select nodes would be the right way to go, but I'm not figuring that out for some reason. Nope, I have no idea how to do this. Just gonna admit that. This is weird. Not sure what the... Not at all sure what approach to take. Yeah, see, the difficulty of something that seems simple tells me that I am probably doing something wrong with my... There's probably something wrong with my approach here. The way I'm giving data from the drop-down instance to the parent widget. Because it seems like it should be pretty trivial. But I don't know how to turn a string into a value for an enumerator. Well, I think this is a good opportunity to take a quick stretch break, so I'm gonna go take a 5-minute stretch break, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, I'm gonna stream for about a half an hour longer. So I was just thinking, this might be the limits of this kind of weird approach I'm taking. I might actually need to rethink a lot of what's going on in my framework, mostly how I'm sending over data and how I'm making my generic widgets. I may either need to not make them so generic. I might need to make, like, instead of just a dropdown that could be used for any dropdown, I think I might need to just do like a, well, maybe what I could do is like still have generic dropdown, but then go and make another component that's like, oh, thanks, Squarepig. So if you think about it like a hierarchy, like you got the settings menu, the page settings menu, and then there's the video settings. So there's the video settings page that loads in all those widgets. Maybe instead of loading in a generic dropdown there, and then in the settings page behavior graph, you know, scripting out the custom behavior for each one. Maybe what I instead should be, maybe what I should be doing instead is, I could, maybe there's still a generic dropdown, but then a child of that is a specific kind of dropdown, like so anything that would use a dropdown, like instead of taking a generic dropdown and importing it into my settings page, and then in the settings page doing the behavior for each one, like the resolution picker, for example, maybe what I could do is there's a dropdown just so I have that predefined style, and then I make a resolution picker that is basically that dropdown with all of the resolution picker's behavior built into it, and then import that into the settings menu. Yeah, but that won't really help though. Okay, so yeah, I might just need to forego trying to make them these generic components because it's making some stuff pretty difficult. I mean, because like, so even just the problem we have here is like I don't really have the data to give to this set full screen node. I could just kind of manually figure it out. I could just say like if selected item equals full screen, then set to full screen, if equals windowed, if equals windowed full screen, but that's like hard-coded stuff and that just seems kind of weird. I could just do it that way. I mean, it would work, but it wouldn't be very elegant or maintainable, which is what I'm worried about. So I may need to revisit this to the end, get to the point where I just make, you know, these individual widgets outside of here and then just import them all. And then the settings page just contains behavior for the settings page itself, like animations to play for the page to come in and out, loading and unloading, validating settings, for example, perhaps. But other than that though, and I was also thinking about maybe if there's some way that I could collect all these settings in like a struct or an enumerator. I have this old enumerator from when I was, from before they had this stuff, where I just kind of was like experimenting, like if I just had an enumerator of all the different settings, or if I could store things in arrays or something like that. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like maybe this is the wrong approach. I really love the ease of use of event dispatchers though. I mean, that's been fantastic, but I don't want this graph to get too big, and I already can tell it's going to because I'm going to have an event in here for every different settings widget that gets dropped in here. And then what do I do about separating out these different pages? Should there then be like a page widget that's, you know, that always looks the same and has the same animations coming in? Yeah, it's going to need a bit more planning, and I think I need to just do some more design before I can really nail a framework that will be maintainable and really flexible and scalable, you know? Yeah. Because, you know, I mean, so I could do, like, a really dirty way. I could do, like, you know, if, what I do is select, no. If I just did, like, you know, if it equals case insensitive, that seems like a good idea. But then you'd have just a bunch of branches. That just doesn't make any sense to me. But, you know, if I did, you know, if this string equals full screen, then you'd branch and say set full screen mode to full screen, and then you do it again for each setting. That's gonna get messy. But it would work. Hmm. But if I could just parse this into a selection for that enumerator, that would be pretty great. Maybe... let's see. Get full screen mode. Enum to string. What was this enum giving me again? This is a select info. Selection type. On key press, on navigation, on mouse click, on direct. Not even sure what the difference is between some of those, but interesting. I wonder. Find option index. Huh. I wonder. Get option count. That's the number of options. Get option, I wonder if I could do something with this. I don't think I'm going to be using this selection type data, just kind of added it because I saw the option there. Maybe what I need is selected item and say selected, let's see, option name. Selection name. Selection index. No, yeah, I do. I want to do selection. Yeah, selection a name and selection index. Let's try that. I'm gonna try something here. Yeah, kind of ugly, but that's fine for now. I'm really just trying something out. So name and index. If I do that, then come in here. What is this? Oh. Uh-oh. There we go. So, windowed, full screen, windowed, full screen. If I do that, and then with that, if I do I guess I would need to actually populate this list too. Yeah, see, this is getting a little hinky, a little weird. Because now I'm gonna have to populate each list pretty manually, unless I just, let's see, add resolution, set current resolution. Let's do a function. populate. This? Get convenient windowed resolutions. That's a new node I didn't know about. Huh. Gets the list of windowed resolutions which are convenient for the current primary display size. That is interesting. I'd like to experiment with that at some point. But get game user settings. let's see what that looks like. No options. Good. That's expected. If I plug that in. Oh. There's only one option. Alright, this is gonna take some like big picture. I think I'm redesigning, honestly. I may have to redesign this and rethink kind of my approach to how I'm doing each of these individual widgets, because I think I'm trying to make them a little too dynamic, and I'm just not. I think this is not going to be a scalable solution in the long run. So I'm gonna end this stream here, and then before tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's Wednesday. Not sure yet if I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'll let you guys know on Twitter for sure if I'm going to be streaming or not. But I am definitely going to take some time. I'm going to take some time away from the stream to rethink this, kind of to rethink my UI framework, because it seems to have reached its limits. So, I mean, that happens, you know. Probably my lack of expertise in the area. I've done a lot of UI design for the web, but this is very different. The kind of thinking that I usually apply for web design, it doesn't really apply here as well as I was hoping it would. So I'm gonna have to rethink things in a way that makes more sense for UMG and for Blueprint, and that is scalable. So, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna go do some more work on this. I'm gonna start rethinking this and see where I can go from there. And then I'll probably stream again tomorrow or Thursday. I don't know yet. I don't know what my plans are like this week for the rest of the week, but we'll see. I'll definitely be streaming again this week. Just not sure if it'll be tomorrow, Thursday, or maybe Friday. I will let you guys know on Twitter, so follow me there if you haven't already. Yeah, and thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks so much to all the Gaming Twist for following today, and for the bits. So I really appreciate that. Every little bit counts. So good. And Majestic Mac and Squarepeg, thanks a lot for hanging out with me, guys. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, and I will I'll see you guys next time. So until then, have a good day and take care. Bye.